Good morning, brothers and sisters. We have yet another beautiful, beautiful sunny day. Little chilly. That's all right. That's all right. I'm just grateful for having the day. And I gotta go get gas. Went to my favorite spot yesterday, and of course their internet was down, so they couldn't do anything. In fact, the whole daggum gas station was closed. What's the point of staying open if you can't take money? Well, that makes sense to me. What's the point? Sit there and visit? Nah, we ain't there to visit. We're there to make money. Anyway, so that's where I'm heading. I'm heading to go get some gasoline, maybe talk to you a little bit, see how you doing today. I'm doing all right. Hey, we started trying this home chef thing where you put meals together, and you how many you're going to have, as far as for each meal, how many people. We started that, and we had our first meal last night, and it was pretty darn good. They're pretty thorough, too. It's called Home Chef. And we did that because, well, we're lazy. Don't want to have to go shopping and things like that. And these people package it all up and ship it to you, and all you have to do is just put it together. I'm like, yeah, okay. And gonna evaluate, see if it actually saves us any money. I don't know. Anyway, we're giving that a run. So, be interested if any of you guys have tried this. These services that provide you food, pre-packaged, not pre-packaged. It's all fresh food. It's just you gotta cook it and assemble it and all this stuff. And yeah, last night's meal was quite delicious, actually. I think it was a breaded chicken and broccoli with a sauce and stuff that you put together. Yeah, it was pretty good. Anyway, so I have no idea what I'm going to do today. I probably need to mow the lawn. Got a sunny day. Might just pursue that endeavor because, the grass is getting a little high. Being spring and all, you cut it, and as you're mowing, it's growing back to where it was after you've mowed it. That's how quick grass grows around here during the springtime. Then it all dies, and it's all brown and everything. So, yeah. I think that's probably what I'll do today. I might wait for it to warm up just a little more before, getting on the mower and going around and butchering the lawn. But for now, right now, I need to put some fuel in the old La Bamba van here. I was talking to my accountant yesterday, and now I'm retired, okay, but that doesn't mean that he's not going to ask me some computer-related question, and of course he did. And I told him, I said, I handed my business clients off to another fellow who is quite skilled in town and confident and just a good guy. And I felt good that he was going to take care of my clients. And I told him, I said, well, I would recommend you reach out to this guy. And, I'm sure he would be more than happy to help you out with your businesses. He has a couple businesses, one in, I think, Glenwood, CPA firm, and then here in town. So, yeah, I think it's going to take a little longer for me to be able to escape, let's say, gracefully escape, being queried about technology and stuff. People want to pick your brain. That's fine. I don't have any problem with that. Good people. I mean, I'll help any way I can. But yeah, I'm retired. And I still don't have the hang of it. I don't know what it's all about. But I'm figuring it out as I go. Okay, I'm going to get some gas. Okay, I got gas. So it's not the temperature that's cold, it's the wind. That daggum wind is kind of chilly. Cuts right through you. I had to bundle up and put on Arctic jacket and muffs and things like that. Here's an interesting thing. Let's see what that fellow's going to do. Okay. So, as the receipt for my fuel purchase printed out, it brought back a memory of S&H Greenstamps, okay, because it's, the receipt's that long. They could just print a little receipt. No, they got to print all this garbage. Anyway, I know you older folks remember S&H Greenstamps? My mom used to collect them. And for you youngins, I don't even know. You shouldn't even be part of that club. I don't think you deserve to be part of the S&H Greenstamp Knowledge Club. But okay, I'm being generous today, so I'm going to tell you about it. Okay, so what this was before scanners. This is when we had actual cashiers, okay, who could blaze through all your items at the speed of light, faster than these scanners. And at the end, it would produce, based on your dollar amount, you would receive these stamps. They're green stamps, and it's S&H. Now, I don't remember what S&H stood for, but they're S&H Greenstamps. Well, you collected these stamps, and you put them in a booklet, and once the booklet was full, you could cash that in for some things. I don't know. My mom used to collect them. And I think they were actually S&H Greenstamp stores, S&H stores, something like that. But my goodness, they had this little machine, and the cashier, after she totaled up your purchase, she would take her finger, and it was these wheels, and she would dial like this, like a rotary phone. Oh, okay, that's another story you youngins don't know nothing about. And I ain't gonna let you in that club. But they would spin these things around, and these tickets would come out, or these stamps would come out. And I'd look at my mother. I was just a boy. Look at my mother, and she just had this big grin and joy on her face, because of these stamps that she was getting. Now, at that time, you could buy a trunk full of groceries for $30, okay? That's enough to feed you for a month, a family for a month. But she'd get these stamps and get home, she'd put the groceries away, and immediately my mom would go to her S&H Greenstamp book and start populating that book with her newly acquired treasures of S&H Greenstamps. Now, the town that we shopped at was called Roseburg. It was in Roseburg, Oregon. But all the stores in whatever little town or village you were at had these S&H Greenstamps. But there was only a few stores that you could redeem these books. And they were in Roseburg, Oregon. And at that time, we lived in Winston, Oregon. And so she would go and once she got her books filled up, she would, have Dad take her, 'cause Mom didn't drive. Now, that doesn't mean that my mom couldn't drive. My mom chose not to drive. And Dad would take her, and of course, you got to take all the kids in tow. What are you going to do with the kids? Got to take them too. She would go to these S&H Greenstamps stores and redeem her collected treasures for, I don't know, dish towels, shirts, blouses, whatever. But I don't ever recall benefiting personally from her collection of S&H Greenstamps. I think, now I can't be certain about this, but I'm pretty sure that everything that she redeemed was for her. Now, do I hold a grudge against my mother for that? No, she's the one that's putting it all together. She's doing all the hard work. She should earn the rewards. Would you not agree? I'm sure you would. And if you don't, you need to go in the corner and slap yourself because something ain't right about you. All right? That's my mama you're talking about here. And if your mother did that, I bet you 10 to 1 she did it for. She redeemed those things for her little trinkets. Not for you. You didn't get anything. Now, to be fair now, when my mom would have me in tow, grocery shopping. Now, she may be grocery shopping in Winston, but she would get S&H Greenstamps. But my mom always bought me a little toy when we went grocery shopping. So, needless to say, I enjoyed grocery shopping with my mama because I got some kind of little toy. Now, it was probably worth a nickel or something like that at that time. Well, at that time. And probably get the same toy, it cost you $12 now, but that time is a nickel or something. We didn't have a lot of money, so there wasn't anything extravagant. It was just something to keep my brain entertained for 10 minutes. But it was the act of anticipating some kind of toy. Okay? It wasn't the toy itself. It was the anticipation for the toy. Oh, the things you remember. And all this stuff popped into my head because of a gas receipt. It reminded me of S&H Greenstamps and how my mother gleefully collected those things. Oh, good times. But I sure remember those cashiers. Those ladies, it was usually ladies. I don't remember ever seeing a guy doing a cashier. It probably was there. I just never paid attention. I was more interested in how fast these women could do these cash registers and ring you up. Nowadays, your cashier, if it doesn't scan, they'll do it 25 times. I'm exaggerating. 25 times until it scans. Instead of maybe, they can't look at a price. There's no price on it. It's just a UPC code. So they can't, say, oh, it's $1.50. No, you can't do that. Scan. Wipe off the scanner. Scan. Yeah. And you don't get any S&H Greenstamp. No sirree. That's a game that's long gone. Unfortunately. And oh, hey, do you remember buying laundry detergent and getting a piece of carnival glass, like a little bowl or a cup or something like. Yeah, man, that's how our dishes came into existence. Dish, or not dish soap, but laundry soap. Buy these big laundry soap boxes, and it was like, whenever Mom would buy us kids cereal, it's like digging in there for any toy that might be there in the cereal. But yeah, the laundry soap. Yeah. Hey, here's another one. Now, you youngins wouldn't know anything about this because this was our clubs, not you. Yeah. Go back to your gaming console. Anyway, Cracker Jacks. Remember the Cracker Jacks? When you actually got a real prize in the Cracker Jacks? And now you got the box. You opened the box. Inside was actually a useful little treasure in there. You don't get that anymore, do you? No, you don't get that anymore. No, I don't even think they come in boxes anymore. It comes in a little bag. I don't even think they have little treasures in them anymore. What's wrong with these manufacturers? Well, I'll tell you what's wrong. The kids took over. And the kids, they came out of these little universities and learned how to make more with less, profit more with less. Didn't they grow up getting Mom and Dad's Cracker Jack box? World's falling apart. No S&H Greenstamps. No more detergent where you can get a piece of glass and build your dish set, where you could use that on a daily basis or use it for the Thanksgiving. Well, okay, you broke out the good stuff for the Thanksgiving meal. We didn't have good stuff. You used the carnival glass and whatever was in the cupboard, you used it. Okay. And the Cracker Jacks. What else are we missing? The things that the generations of the last 3 generations have no clue about. What else do we not have? Cracker Jacks, S&H Greenstamps, carnival glass, cereal boxes. Now, I used to. The big thing about cereal boxes was collecting the box tops. Okay, so I remember I was collecting cereal box tops to send in to get a monorail train set. And I did it too. I got that monorail train set. And I think it was, 50 box tops. I think it was Frosted Flakes box tops. Tony the Tiger. Well, my generation. Tony the Tiger. I don't know what he is now. Tonat. Whatever. Probably identifies as Squirrel now. Anyway, so yeah, I did that. I collected that. That was here in Arkansas when we lived in Arkansas. Yeah, that wasn't in Oregon. That was in Arkansas. Yeah, we lived in the old Phil Waters house. Call it the old Phil Waters place. Yeah, collected the box tops. Yeah. Oh, here's another thing. This happened back in the '60s. Used to get magazines or comic books. I can't remember. My brother would remember. And on the back page was an advertisement. And that advertisement was fishing gear. So you could buy I don't know, 2, 3 fishing poles and just a boatload of tackle and a tackle box and all this stuff. Like 1995 or something like that. You know, it was like 150-piece fishing gear stuff. My dad did that one time. That was in Oregon. We lived in Winston. I remember that. That was in mid-60s. My dad ordered that. My dad loved to fish. So he ordered that for the kids, really. Us kids. Which would have been Joe and I. I don't know if there was a fishing pole for Mary or not, but it doesn't matter. Yeah. And we got that in. Man, that was like Christmas. I mean, they had hooks, bobbers, string, fishing poles, little Zebco reels. I think there were 2 poles. I think my brother got the open face pole. I got the little Zebco closed reel. It was a white pole. I remember that. And, you know, some little lures and just all kinds of stuff. You know, little tackle box. Man, that was seventh heaven right there. That was the bomb. And so we get all this, and we're, you know, I think Joe and I don't think Mary was interested at that time. I don't know, maybe she was. I don't remember. Got it all together, and I think Diane was with us that time. Diane lived with us. Yeah, so it was Diane. I think Carol had already left the house, or she may have been there too. I don't remember. But I know Joe and David weren't. They were off in the war. But it was summer. And I took my fishing pole down to the river, North Umpqua, or the Umpqua River, which was just down below our house, about a mile. And I'm out there on the rocks, and I'm fishing with my fishing pole. And of course, you know, having the attention span of a gnat, I get distracted by some shiny thing over here, and I go investigate and leave my pole behind, right? Yeah. I got a bite. Now the other kids are out swimming in the river and stuff. I get a bite, and it pulls my pole. And it, because I didn't anchor it down, you know, while I went over and looked at this shiny thing over here, probably a minnow or something like that in a pool of water or something. Who knows? A bug. Took my pole, pulled it into the river. I was absolutely heartbroken. I had lost my pole that my dad paid $19.95 for, with all the other stuff. Lost my little Zebco pole. Heartbroken. But you know what? The next summer, one of the teenage boys down at the river, and they all knew that I lost my pole in the river. He was out there swimming, and lo and behold, he found my pole in the river with the fish still hooked to it. He returned my pole to me. Not fish, though. He took fish off. But the fish was dead. It couldn't escape. So it just died right there in the river, hooked to my pole. Well, I guess that's what people of the East would say karma. That fish had karma. That's right. I got my pole back. Of course, it was non-functional, but nonetheless, I got my pole back. A season later, got my pole back. And I think tried to clean up the thing that holds a line and whatever you call it. The Zebco. I call it the Zebco. But couldn't get it to work. So 1995, mail in. This was when you mailed into stuff. There was nothing else. You mailed it in, and you sent money, or check, or cash, or whatever, and you got something back. And ain't got that anymore either. That's something else that's lost. Mail-in catalogs. Huh. Well, times have changed. The world's become smaller. And either adapt. Let's see, what's the cliche? Either adapt or die. Well, that's kind of how it works. And I wanted that. I give wide berth to 18-wheel truck drivers. I extend every courtesy I can for those fellas because it's hard enough as it is, the job they're doing. I don't need to be an additional thorn in their side. So I give them wide berth. And there was 18-wheeler he wanted to turn. But I had the arrow light, so I said, well, I'll go ahead. Anyway, yeah. Let's see, what else? Well, what other things happened back then that no longer in existence? I think that pretty much sums it up. There are a lot of things. I mean, I remember when speed limit. No, you just had to have control of your vehicle. There was no posted speed limits. You just needed to be in control of your vehicle on the interstate. Don't see that anymore, do you? Nah. I wasn't old enough to drive, so I never experienced it myself. But, yeah. Yeah, and let's see, and then being babysat, by the older sister, not Mary, but Diane. I hated being babysat by Diane because she would starve you. Yeah, that's right. You know why? Because she was more interested in paying attention to those boys she was chasing or being chased from than focusing her attention on like nutrition or maybe the baby brother is hungry or something like that. No. It was a burden to her that mom and dad were heading to, I don't know, the Union Hall or something like that. And mom and dad would tell Diane to, watch the kids while we're gone. Hated those words. Watch the kids. Because I knew I wasn't going to eat. Because my sister didn't care. You know that woman, let me tell you something else about my beloved sister. I love her. Don't get me wrong. I love all my sisters. But Diane, we had bunk beds in our bedroom. Joe and I. And we had bunk beds. As a infant, or maybe two, I just remember the flying. I don't remember the sudden stop. But she was bouncing me on the top bunk and lost grip of me. And guess where I headed? I headed where gravity took me. To the floor, on my head. She almost killed me. Not only did she starve me, She almost killed me. Yeah, yeah. That's my beloved sister. Yeah. Oh well. Well, I'm back to the lab, and I see my dogs are out here. I got four of them. Oh, there's the fifth one. Okay. Got my dogs out here, and they're wanting a biscuit. So listen, you guys have a great day, okay? And enjoy this weather. And if the wind dies down and it warms up just a little more, probably hop on the mower. No promises, though. I commit to perhaps jump on the mower, but no promises. Now, my beloved neighbor over here, Deb, now that woman, she loves to be in the yard, and the fruits of her labor reflect her love of the yard. And then I've got my brother over here, Joe, Mr. Brother Joe Chambers over here. Now, this gentleman is 93, 94. His lawn, he loves being out in the yard. Now, he has some, I guess, nephews or I don't know who they are. They're related to him. Will be a legion of guys coming to do his lawn as well. And he's got the most beautiful landscape for him and Margaret, their property. And Deb and Steve, definitely, Deb is out there whenever it's beautiful doing her lawn. And then you got me. That's not quite warm enough. And the wind's blowing too much. I've got a riding lawnmower. What am I whining about? Well, I'm retired and I'm not quite sure how to manage my time now. You know, I can only milk this for so long. But yeah, back to the mowing. I might get to it today if it warms up a little more and the wind drops down a little bit, maybe. I don't know. But for now, what's my next window is to go to the lab and give the dogs a biscuit. Yeah, that's important. And they know that. They're all staring at me. They're all just staring at me. Anyway, y'all have a blessed day. I sure enjoyed talking to you this morning. All right, take care.